you should not wait. Like there's this mental trap that we fall into.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we got to be consistent and then we sell.
Yeah.
But really, you need to show up consistently and sell,
Right.
not then sell.
Amazon made it easy. You should make it easy too. It's not a conscious thought they have, but we've been so conditioned because of things like Amazon where they've made it simple to buy. Hence, we should take advantage of that.
It's like, really? So you need thicker skin and you need to be able to be like, listen, it doesn't matter what I say. Someone's going to be upset with it. It's not going to sit well with somebody. No matter how much you curate your words, you might as well just be real. What's up, familia? It's Kim.
And Chris.
And you're listening to the Business Lounge podcast.
In each episode, we'll break down all the latest in online marketing, give you all the deets on what's working now to turn your content into customers, boost your leads and sales, and scale your business fast.
All without compromising on what you care about most: faith, family, and freedom. And listen, it's all real, raw, and unfiltered. So let's start the show. Hi, guys.
Hi.
We missed you. It has been a crazy season behind the scenes for us. We have been working hard on some new projects, some exciting things, and then also going through some life stuff that we'll tell you about maybe at some point when we have, like, December should be the month of just personal stuff.
Dust will settle.
Right?
Yeah.
But
First of all, let me pause because people start assuming some things.
Oh, that's true. I'm not pregnant.
Kim's not pregnant. Everybody always says it's like Kim can be gone for 2 days, and people are like, "Is she pregnant?"
I know.
So I get it. Like, people that care about us want to see
They're
us have
excited,
kids.
yeah.
We're working in that direction, I promise you. So I just wanted to make sure that's clear. We're not on like the verge. Kim and I are fine. Our relationship is good.
No one canceled us based on recent events.
Life has just been life in.
Yeah.
The devil's been on the prowl and attacking.
Absolutely. But we're good. We're just busy and we're building some cool legacy pieces.
Yes.
We're writing a book. We've been releasing a brand new playbook.
Yeah.
We just finished our AI tool.
Yeah.
Did a whole new workshop, content to customers workshop.
Yeah.
So
But I think
it's been crazy.
But I think it speaks to, I want to say something. I think it speaks to the nature of what we always talk about, which is your content shouldn't rule your life.
True.
Like YouTube has been our jammy jam forever. And we have actually grown. In fact, we've monetized our YouTube more than we ever have before.
Not this channel. My main channel.
Kim's primary channel. But this channel still has been growing because one of our episodes did well. People seem to resonate with it. And here we are, right? And so, we have like 500 subscribers at the moment recording this. So it's not massive, which we're going to get there. But it has been wildly profitable because we're on message and we're positioning the messaging accordingly. And so, Kim, I think we were talking about earlier, but it's been one of our most profitable new things that we've done in a while. And I know that might be like, let me put that in perspective for you. It's made us, in 6 episodes, tens of thousands of dollars. I won't say a specific number, but tens of thousands, not like 10,000, like tens of thousands of dollars from 6 episodes. And people, they are wanting to join coaching in our group coaching or whatever, because they're hearing what we have to say. And we're like, I want in on this. This is cool. So again, it kind of speaks to what we always preach and teach to you guys. Consistency is part of it. I'm not saying, right, but it shouldn't rule your life at the same time.
You're not saying what about consistency?
I'm not saying I'm not saying like, oh yeah, be like us, be gone on your content for 3 months. Like, that was a rare situation. We're usually on it, right? We're usually on it. We're not terrible, but we're not, but we're not like at midnight being like, I gotta put 5 more stories.
Okay, here's why. We've been doing this for 12 plus years and we have a lot of content that we repurpose and reuse.
Exactly.
So we can take extended length of time off and do life because we have the luxury, because we built a business, we built an audience, we've built systems that continue to bring us leads and sales, even if we're not publishing new stuff.
Thank you for helping me finish my thought, by the way.
It's like he interrupted himself, but it was so good that I needed to be like, what do you mean?
Kim's like, you're always making really good points.
You are.
And then your brain will interrupt. Part of your brain will interrupt the other part of your brain, and you forget to drive home the point you're making. And it was actually like a really good point we were going to make.
I know. And it
then
was.
You don't, because you're assuming that everybody knows what you're about to say, so that you've already landed it, but you have already you didn't land this plane before you start taking another plane off.
Y'all, if y'all are ADHD like Chris is, you will absolutely relate. Like, he sends me the funniest videos and memes about being ADHD. Like, I literally die because of the accuracy is insane. Yeah. So if you're in our coaching group, you already know Chris is going to do this a couple times, but that's fine because it's going to be all good enough to be like, okay, I'm following.
Sorry, just bear with me.
Oh, it's awesome. Okay, fam. So today's episode, we are opening up with something that we haven't talked about in all the episodes we've done this season, which is content. We got to talk about content. Y'all, everything has shifted. Everything has changed with content. It's wild to see. And it's one of the main reasons that we came up with the content to customers method. This has been something we've been really teaching and preaching for over a decade. But it just so happens that things have shifted so much that they've made content to customers possible in ways we didn't even think.
Oh, yeah.
Or even possible.
Yeah.
2025 is the year. Yeah. And it's blowing our minds to be like, oh, we had the right message and the right method. And clients were, our clients were quietly getting results. But just now the conditions in the market have aligned so much that people are like, oh, I'm ready for that.
It feels like a Super Bowl season for us.
It does, because if we listen here, let me explain. When we talked about content consistency, everyone would listen. Content creation, everyone would listen. When we would talk about making money
nobody would
from your content, everyone would literally hit the snooze button and hit next.
Yeah, it's true.
No one wanted to make money from their content.
It's
they just
true.
wanted to get popular. And we've hit, I think, the place right now in the market where people are tired of chasing the vanity. They're tired of posting 5 test reels a day.
Not be?
Thank you. It's the burnout is at an all-time high. And finally we're like, oh, Kim and Chris, they were telling us about this conversion thing. Maybe this makes sense. So we're super pumped to talk a little bit more about some content traps, some mindset things that come up, what has changed in the content space that is making this possible. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's like our Super Bowl season.
It is. Yeah. And there's some societal stuff too. Like, Amazon, like set this table.
Yeah.
So like we've been talking about it. You don't need like some long 3-hour webinar anymore.
And I think that's the first shift.
Yeah.
Shift number 1. You do not need 10,000 steps in between your content and selling stuff.
You'll actually get a lot of clicks and no purchases.
Yeah.
Because if the topic is, what I mean by that is if the topic is relevant, people are like, ooh, and then you're making them wait and they're like, ooh, like,
that's exactly it.
So they're like, oh, I'm excited. What do I buy? And then they're like, oh, I got to go to the webinar, so like, they're just not, they don't want to go through your 3-week launch.
Yeah.
They don't want you, like, we're in a very what we call solution aware market now, because this big wave of like this new opportunity that was doing business on the internet, and be like, oh, what is that like? That sounds fun. Like, I want to see what that's about. And then they're getting excited about it, right? Like, oh, I could make money on the internet and do through content. And so let me just be consistent and I could be, and then now it's like, I've tried it. I've done it. I've been a part of it. I want to make money. I don't want to watch a webinar. Just sell me something.
Yeah.
Like, that's seriously. And it's so important. We talk about problem and solution aware all the time. Shout out to Eugene Schwartz, man. That guy's a G. This is who invented this whole upside model of problem solution aware, this and that. We won't go too nerd on you. But really everything we do is through the lens of problem and solution aware first. And there's some others too, but those are the main 2. But yeah, everybody's solution aware. And then also on top of that,
what does that mean? Can you just break it down real quick? Like, what is solution aware versus problem aware?
Yeah. So problem aware is, okay, so we gave an example to our clients earlier, right? So like one of them, we were talking about shelves for like your kitchen shelves or whatever, right? And so if you are at a point where you're like, oh, I need a place to like put all my stuff. Like, I don't know where to do. Like, oh, well, have you thought about shelves, right? And you could put these shelves on your wall and like, blah, blah, and then, oh, shelves, that works, right? But then what happens when millions of companies realize that people want shelves, right? Then everybody has shelves. And then you have to start talking about why your shelves are different. In other words, why your shelves are the right shelves for them.
They're better.
Right? Why they're better. And so you're going to talk with specificity to the differences of your shelves. Like, they have this and this, and they're like, certain materials, and they're not going to, get, rusty, or they're not going to fall. They have a certain weight capacity, right? Whereas if you're talking about problem aware people, it's just the fact that they just want a place to put their stuff. They're aware they have a problem. They're disorganized or whatever the case may be. And they're like, oh, that's exciting. That's a good idea. Let me invest in that. I'll just buy whatever because it sounds like a great idea. But when you're solution aware, people are going to be a little bit more meticulous in due diligence. They're going to figure out what the best things are, what their best price is. Right?
They're going to compare you to an existing
solution. They're going to compare you.
solution.
They're going to go to Amazon and they're going to look at all the reviews, who has the best reviews, right? So like when you're deeply solution aware, it just changes your messaging in terms of presentation. And that's what's happened is we are in a solution aware market cycle in online business because everybody has bought a course. They've gone through a webinar. They've gone to a 3-day workshop. They know what's going to happen at the end of it. They know you have some big fancy surprise at the end, but really you're just going to sell them something. They know if they get an email from you, they're going to probably get something that sends them to something that buys something, right? They know that. So quit playing that gimmick. Just lean into where the market's at. Be thankful that people like Amazon, like, made an environment where people are like, yep, want to buy, yep, want to buy, yep, want to buy, because that has literally conditioned their brains to be like, yes, I want to buy. And I'm used to buying things on the internet. So don't make me go through all these hoops. Amazon made it easy. You should make it easy too. It's not a conscious thought they have, but we've been so conditioned because of things like Amazon where they've made it simple to buy. Hence, we should take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree completely. And so like, if this is like breaking your brain a little bit, let's slow it down and just talk about, no, you're good. I want to talk to everybody. And some people might not understand. So we're talking about levels of sophistication, right? Once a market becomes saturated, which is most markets in the online space, there are a few exceptions. Like we have some clients who are still crushing their problem-aware messaging.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is the environment that is created when it is a saturated market necessitates differentiation. That means you need to stand out from your competition. You need to talk about what you do in a way that acknowledges that people have already tried a bunch of things that haven't worked, that people have already gone through the courses, gone through the webinars, gone through the 5-day challenges, and they're looking for something new. And you position what you sell accordingly. However, that can feel very complicated. It's not.
It's not.
What we're talking about in the context of content is saying, listen, people don't need, like Chris said, the 17 steps from the time that they actually find you on Instagram or they listen to your podcast to the time they buy. They don't need it. No. They're not needing a crazy nurture sequence. They're not needing a 5-day challenge. They're not needing a webinar. Not that webinars don't work. We still use webinars. But there's a level of sophistication where people don't have the capacity or the appetite to go through 30 days of email sequences before they're ready to buy. They want to hire you now. And if you can actually flip your content into a sales engine, which is our content to customers method, you are going to win. It's going to be simpler. It's going to be easier. It's going to be faster. And you're going to make way more money than if you have to go through all the 17,000 steps and get all the tools and set up all the funnels. Not that funnels don't work, but they're not necessary like they used to be.
It's supportive of, but not necessary. Before it was necessary. Now it's just supportive of because you're going to get the laggers that didn't actually buy, and it's just a reminder for the people that didn't. Whereas before you weren't going to make sales if you didn't have it, right? Because you had to continue to hype them up.
So I think that's content shift number 2.
Shift. But let me tell a quick story on that.
Go for it.
So I want to speak to, because Kim mentioned something, I want to make sure you guys really, really take this in because it's so important. Because it was such a good point she brought up. We had a client that all we did was work on her positioning, meaning she needed to be more solution aware and speak to that with clarity. Whatever that psychology, we're talking about marketing psychology at that point, right? How you interface that, meaning what medium you're using, whether that's podcasts, whether that's email, whether you've got a blog, whether you've got YouTube, you just use Instagram, whatever. LinkedIn, I've got an executive coach, he's crushing it on LinkedIn. Once you figure out what that positioning looks like, she got from one carousel post, 6 new applications
to her $6,000 coaching program.
She made over 20 grand in like a week. And
from one post.
And it's not, and let me clarify, it's not like this was happening before that.
Right.
It's not that she wasn't getting, she wasn't dry. Like she wasn't getting any leads at all, but this was abnormal to get that many leads from a single post. And it was from a carousel post on a multi-$1,000 program.
And all we did is we changed how we were having her talk about what she did. It's that simple.
Yes.
And so one of the things that you can think of and take away from this first or the second shift really, is, okay, so if the first shift is problem aware, the sophistication level, and the second shift is a shorter sales cycle, then you really want to think about, okay, if you are in a industry or a niche that is highly saturated, how do you speak to someone and talk about how your solution is different or better? And I think that leads into shift number 3, which is you have to dial in your messaging. The biggest thing you can do with content right now is speak to a very specific person about a specific problem that they have and a unique solution that you offer. If you are niched down and you're speaking to the one person instead of all the many different people, you're going to activate in them this excitement and this desire to buy your offer that will supersede any 5-day challenge, any webinar, any 30-day email sequence. Not to say those things are bad, but they're not necessary.
We are in an environment of answers, not information.
100%.
People want, and you may think that I'm talking about like actual information, like we're giving you guys advice, right? It's beyond that. They want an answer in a physical product. They want the thing. They don't want to buy. They've bought the 12 things that didn't work. They want the one thing that's the answer for the thing they're trying to solve. We're talking about transformation and outcomes here.
Right.
And so that's what they want. We have information overload. We have answer underwhelm.
Exactly.
So like they want the answer and that we're exhausted.
Which is why ChatGPT and AI is so popular.
Yeah, it is, because it's like, I don't want to have to look through Google. I don't want to have to do this.
I'm overwhelmed.
Like, just tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to buy. Give me the thing that I need to fix the problem. We're overwhelmed. We're exhausted. We've been bombarded with information. And so again, this speaks to what we were talking about before. They don't want to sit through your webinar, right? They want to get an answer for themselves. And so that's why we're seeing for us, like coaching is just like, we weren't a coaching business. Now we're coaching hybrid. We still have the membership as a capacity in what we in our product suite, but people that come in, they want coaching. If it's not accessible because they're too early in their journey, okay, they'll take the membership, but that's not where they come in. We used to come in through the membership and then they would send to coaching, and we wouldn't even offer it unless it really made sense. Now it's like, no, I want what I want, and I want coaching, and I want an answer for me, and I want to talk to Kim and Chris directly. And so like use that to your, again, another thing you can use to your advantage.
100% eroding trust across the board. So it looks at basically all the different institutions and how people feel about those institutions, from business to government to media to NGOs. Like we're looking at record-breaking low trust levels from almost historical.
Recorded.
Right, recorded.
Lowest recorded.
That means that we have to adapt and we have to understand the cultural conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've talked about this before. People get upset that we talk politics or that we talk economy or that we talk about world events.
Or they think we're going to sabotage our business by talking about it. I'm like,
they're like, big mistake.
Dude, you would not believe how many people reach out and they'd be like, I'm joining your program because you speak the truth as, you know, as they see it too, right? Yeah. And you stand up for your values. You say it like it is. You're super, super direct. And they like, for every person that we turn off, I would say there's probably 3 that are like, I love them.
I think there's 100.
You think it's that many?
100%.
Well, it's true because we don't hear from everybody.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, but we see it in the data. When we send an email, you know, there might be like 20 responses that are negative, and then 3,000 that are positive.
It's true.
So it's one of those things where like you gotta enter, even if you don't want to enter the cultural conversation because you're not courageous enough to do that, right? I hear from women all the time who are like, I'm afraid to talk about.
I'm here for it.
It's true. You're not courageous enough. That's a fact.
Dang.
Sorry, but it's true.
She just casually just dropped that bomb.
Yeah, well,
even if you don't want to, because you're not courageous.
Because you're not. I mean, am I wrong?
Savage.
Sorry, gotta tell it like it is.
I'm here for it.
So like, you know, I'm off my.
No, sorry.
Thought.
Even if you're not willing to enter the cultural conversation.
Even if you're not courageous enough to enter the cultural conversation, meaning speak out about your beliefs, speak out about your faith, speak out about what you actually think about current events, you need to be authentic. And you have to understand that authenticity 5 years ago is not the same thing as now.
Yeah.
Especially in the female space. You know, authenticity was like, let's be ultra vulnerable and TMI and show ourselves sometimes naked on Instagram. And that is, you know, you're so authentic. Good. Remember, we screamed authenticity from the mountaintops. But the minute you say something that doesn't align with someone else's values, you'll get attacked. And so you can be, according to society, right, or at least one side of the aisle, you're supposed to be authentic as long as it, you know, fits the bill that they have come up with.
As long as you follow a rule book that's,
exactly.
How long are our rules now?
Yeah. So my point is this. This is my point. If you're going to not enter the cultural conversation, you have to be willing to take criticism just for being your authentic self. Meaning, little things. You know, the internet is hypersensitive. People are hypersensitive. But I remember listening to Jackie Hill. You know, she's a pastor, she's a preacher, and she talks about how, you know, it's just like, I could say anything, like the sky is blue. And there'll be comments of people being like, well, the sky is not always blue. And it's like, really? So you need thicker skin. And you need to be able to be like, listen, it doesn't matter what I say. Someone's going to be upset with it. It's not going to sit well with somebody. No matter how much you curate your words, you might as well just be real. And what that means, and it starts with, is just simple content. If you feel scared to speak up, or if you're scared to be your authentic self, then lower your production value. At the very least, start creating content that is simple and really, really authentic, because the opposite of that is acting polished and ultra corporate.
People are going to reject that now.
People hate that from mainstream media.
It's not going to work.
That's the content they're used to. They are literally allergic to it, and they will feel like they will sniff it instantly. So instead of having the fanciest production studio and ultra aesthetic photos, just take selfies. Do your videos with your phone camera if you need to. Get content out there. And what is positive about that is that it's so much easier to produce. It's so much easier to create. You can create more faster with less energy than you used to before.
I created to that point. So what Kim said is so important, guys. Like so important on all fronts. And I know I'm biased, but seriously, it was really good.
I appreciate it.
So people, the level of distrust, people are associating curated and overproduced with lies.
Yes.
Because and that's on both sides. That's just some, you know, moral statement, whatever, right? Like that's on both sides of the political aisle. All people are to the point where there's a level of distrust that we've never seen before.
It's true.
Now that is represented with curated, overproduced, Disney, Netflix, right? You name it, right? Whatever it is, it's overproduced. And so people associate that now. They don't know it. It's this is all unconscious to them. But that's what it. So when they see things like that feel like Rogan or like Theo Vaughn or like the million TikTok things that they've seen, right? Like they feel like those people are actually telling them the truth, and it feels authentic.
Absolutely.
And so this is your season to be able to tap into that and to run with it. In fact, I created we're doing ad creatives, right? And I had an idea like midnight, and Kim laughs at me. It was actually kind of funny.
It turned out awesome, but it's just this is ADHD,
this
you know?
Yeah, this is it.
He'll be chilling watching a movie. He's like, I need to go record an ad.
Yeah. No, for real. So I went and I recorded it, and I just did it with my phone, and I put a Rode like remote lavalier mic on my shirt, and I just put a hat on because my hair was a mess, and I was like, I know it sounds like a really girly statement, but my hair looked stupid. I looked ridiculous.
My hair was a mess.
No, I looked.
LOL, Chris.
There's one thing.
The difference of your hair being a mess and actual hair being a mess.
I know. Okay, but I looked like I had, kind of went down a wrong path. You know what I mean in life. That's like it didn't look good.
Okay.
So, anyways, I just put a hat on and recorded it. It probably took me like 20 minutes. There's no script. I just kind of knew my talking points, bullet points. Recorded it. Put it into Descript, use Underlord, did some stuff, ran it, and it's running as an ad today. I think I spent, an hour total?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Whereas that would have taken you, you would have to script the whole thing, make sure the right words went in it,
set
that you
up the
had
lighting,
the right
get the Canon cameras out, multiple shots, multiple angles, the stabilizer for the camera so we can get some What can you shoot? You know how many times I've shot B-roll for Kim, where I come in, or her for me, where we come in and we're like, you have to slowly over so it shows her
worst.
Typing.
This is my content creator. I've tried to be a content creator and it didn't work out.
Like we have to go do a photo shoot where we're like doing these poses like we're working and stuff. Like, oh yeah, I'm a business professional. Like nobody wants that anymore, guys.
Do you remember?
Like, it's repulsive
now. But that's
now.
the problem is that we're operating with 2019 rules.
Yeah, we are.
Where like that era of Instagram and that era of social media was like, let's be so cute and polished. And I hear from clients who are like, oh, bring it back. I miss it so much.
And
I get it, but the new thing is easier and it's simpler.
Here's the thing. Kim and I were talking about this yesterday because we were looking at where there's a couple investment properties we're looking to buy homes, and builders are always late.
True.
These people they're huge companies.
But late
they're multi-billion-dollar companies. They're late to the trends. They're put selections in that are 5 to 7 years dated, and we stay on top of it because it's a hobby for us. We like looking at. On the weekend we literally go look at houses. We're like,
all the time.
What do you want to do? We should go have fun. Let's go look at houses.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they're behind, and I'm making a statement here that's true. I think reflective of society. People are afraid. There's not many leaders in the world. People are afraid to be seen. They're afraid, and we've been conditioned this way. They're afraid to make a mistake. They're afraid to stand out. It's why people won't ask a stupid question.
Right.
Like because they don't want to stand out. They want to kind of like, most people want to be in the background.
Blend in.
They want to blend in. They don't want to stand out because we've been taught for so long that that's like disruptive behavior, or, that's embarrassing, or there's some shame, or it's unacceptable, whatever. And so a lot of people, with clients of ours that have more of like a cutting edge technology, I'm like, you have to know who you're selling with this.
Yes.
Because if you go to the lower level guys, they ain't going to risk the biscuit because that's their job, and they're not going to do anything that risks their job. Now don't think that's not going to bleed into personal lives. Don't think it's going to lead into the decisions that people make. People are going to become risk averse in all areas in that way, right? So there's few people that are willing to actually take a lead. The reason, let me tie it home here. Let me land this plane. The reason that applies to you, don't find yourself because of that natural propensity being very behind when it comes to the things that are happening in your industry, because you have a unique opportunity if you follow the right people and you stay on top of what's happening, like we've done with real estate, to get way ahead. And you have the opportunity to cut through the noise, and everybody else is still playing an old game, a 2019 game.
Yeah, and I think that's been the most challenging thing for our clients is getting them to adopt this new mindset of like, guys, it's 2025. It's not 2019, right? We got to play by different rules. You do not need to have 17 ultra curated photos of you on Instagram. Yeah. That's not what converts anymore.
No.
Hey, by the way, long form content is the thing. Short form, yes, you can, wing it and play by those rules, but remember that trust is low.
Yeah.
It's really hard to to build trust when it's this low.
Yeah, it is.
Using a 90-second reel. It's just hard, right? It's going to take so many more touch points. So it doesn't mean people aren't going to hire you. It doesn't mean that they're not going to buy from you directly from Instagram. People buy from us directly from Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
But the reality is that if you can, and you want to actually double down on what is working right now, I would go long form. I would go a style like this. That's why we launched the video podcast.
Yep.
It's why we're riffing and we're not ultra cutting everything. There's no script. You know, I just come on here and sometimes I don't even do my hair. I'm kind of like, hey, this is just me today. It is what it is.
That's why you guys know how I did do my hair.
Me too. I mean, this helps a lot. But it's also great placement. But the reality is that is what's working the best. It doesn't mean you can't do social media, but you can't, please stop taking freaking photo shoots of yourself.
No. You're wasting your time.
Holding laptops in 2025. Like, we are beyond that. No one wants to see you post it.
No one wants to see
and pretending like you're walking down the street in your cute little outfit.
Yeah, you
that's
looking
not
out
the game.
Out onto the oceans.
With this, like this.
Dreaming of my next
move.
Grand adventure.
And listen, it's
here's
not
what I had
can't
for lunch.
work if that's your brand. People like that.
No, please stop. If that's your brand, I'm going to tell you. Just please
Chris
stop.
Is like, please don't do that.
This is savagery. Please stop.
But there is a chance to be real, and that could just be pulling out your phone. You know, what are the ads that are working right now? People in their cars shooting their ads.
True.
Like, they just, you know, are going through the pickup line at school for their kids, and they're just sharing a message.
We have a mentor. He's taken it too far. But
Too far.
Michael Scott. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's a lot, man. So you're laughing if you remember what we're talking about. But he went way too far. So like he moved to a farm. I mean, like straight up. Like he records videos now with like he literally looks like he just finished running a tractor.
Love him. He's going through midlife crisis.
Great. It's a little off. He's brilliant. He really is.
But I
love him. But he is projecting. But it's too far real, right? Like so the premise is strong, but it's like a crazy knee-jerk reaction.
What do you mean it's too far real? Explain that.
So I think we are moving in a real, like, you know, a return to real direction.
What you're talking about is that he is anti-AI and he's moved his family to a farm, and now he has grown a beard and is acting like he's a farmer.
Yeah.
When he's not.
Well, and I get it. He's right. He's not wrong. Like he sees what's coming because he's really smart and he knows what's coming. And all the things we're talking about, because AI is going to literally do a lot of things in the world and change in ways I think people don't realize.
Agreed.
But I think though that you can return to real, but still use the modern tools that we have today. In other words, what I mean by that is what Kim's talking about, what we're talking about here. Like, sure, just be more real with your production. Be more real on your Zoom. Don't show up and be like, what's up, guys? Like, that's out. That's not going to work. The curated stuff is not going to work.
You're saying don't have an alter ego, because that's what a lot of people online do. They build an alter ego.
Yes, they put on a facade.
That is not who they are.
Real.
And people can smell that now.
Yes.
Before it worked because you would do your little song and dance and people would get excited. But now people see through it.
But people are consuming real mediums like long form YouTube at levels we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Right? So to think that you have to go full analog and you can't even use digital tools or be in a digital environment, or like your coaching has to be completely local and you can't use like meta ads, they don't work anymore, or like content is a waste of time or whatever. And I'm not saying this person specifically is doing that, but the premise of what he's doing of going to real is accurate. I think he just like went too far on the severity of that. And maybe and I think I'm starting to see him come back a little bit, by the way, on that, like for real. But for you guys, the ethos of that is true. It still remains. And so just be real and forgive yourself and give yourself some grace for not being the professional. That was always an impossible standard anyways. It was always, you were never going to be able to create content to the degree that the people that you watched did, unless you went and spent $500,000 in payroll, right? To be able to have to deploy a team to actually do that. So this should be good news for you, right? Like
absolutely.
People want that. And now, coupled with that, you can supercharge those real efforts with like what I did last night with Descript and
they barely notice.
They won't notice.
And the reality too is that they don't want you to apologize. They just want you to get back on it, right? They just want to see your next video. They just want to see, they're glad you're back. They just want to listen to your next episode. So instead of like second guessing everything about jumping back in when you've ghosted or when you haven't been super consistent, just do it. Just go in there and serve people. Like don't give excuses. Don't give explanations. You don't owe anyone anything online. Like all you got to do is get back in the game with some great posts that serve people and prime them for the sale. And the way that you do that is you start thinking about, okay, how does my content connect to my offers? How do I actually help bust some myths? How can I be real with people and share an unpopular opinion? How can I debunk something today? How can I actually reverse engineer the content that I'm creating to encourage desire for my offers and make people feel like I get them.
Just said you're going to want to come to the 3-day coaching workshop.
Absolutely.
Because there's a mechanism that Kim covers, which I have always thought is brilliant. I'm really
you're just
pouring it on.
You are.
Guys, you don't realize I score so many brownie points in these episodes because I get to like to slide it down there. Yeah, but anyways, no, it really is good.
This is the key to our marriage.
Yes.
No, just kidding.
No. No, it's truly objective, at least as much as it can be.
You're
right?
Sweet. I appreciate you.
So there's mechanisms in there where I think you guys are going to be shocked how easy it is to actually be consistent and how much harder you're making it right now.
Absolutely.
So we call it our 3 R's method, and I'm not. That's as much as you're going to get at teasing right now. No, I'm kidding. The reason I'm saying that is because it's too much to get into in this like right now. That's why we broke it into a 3-day coaching workshop, because it needs to be extrapolated upon, and then you need to also take the resources that we provide in there because you get resources too, which is great.
Yeah.
And be able to implement in real time right there. So I think it's not going to serve its full purpose to you if you don't do it in that environment versus if we just did it here. And we'll probably talk about it later date as well. But
absolutely. And I think that it's one of those things where AI is such an amazing tool.
Yeah.
Basically, no one is using it the right way.
No.
And if you are, you're coming up with a bunch of problems where it doesn't sound like you. It's robotic. Yeah. It's not actually converting. So we're giving you like, hey, let's build together 30 days of profitable content that's going to convert. We're walking you through, hey, this is what you need to think about when you are putting your content calendar together. This is how you actually multiply your content. This is how you actually sell. And it's really fun. I had a blast filming it because it was just like a very long podcast episode that we're coaching and giving you like real world examples. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you don't do it. Here's how some businesses are doing it. Here's what our clients are doing. And so I think the examples alone are super helpful. And we're also walking you through our brand new Content to Customers playbook. So you can like see what that process is if you snag that, or make you feel like you're a slave to your Instagram account.
For most people, it was fun. And then now they're at a point where they're like, it's not fun anymore because I want to get results. I want to make money.
Yeah. And the algos have changed and it's become saturated. The rules have changed. So
that's true.
Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this episode, guys. I hope that you took a lot away from all the content shifts we're seeing this year. The next episode will be all about content traps and things that we see you absolutely fall into that we want you to avoid. We go way deeper into all of this inside that 3-day coaching session with Content to Customers. You should not miss it. It's great. You can ask us questions in the comments. It's really fun. So we'll leave the link for that and we will see you on the next one. Un beso. Bye for now.